While many African students prefer to study abroad for their tertiary education, the cost of quality education in a top-ranked university, however, has been a setback for many craving this experience. Through collaboration, Lancaster University, Ghana is working to bridge this gap. I caught up with Anthony Jarvis, the Provost and Chief Academic Officer of the Lancaster University, Ghana, at the second graduation of the university in Accra.
This is Lancaster's second graduation, and it's an extraordinarily exciting event because nobody gets to this point without a huge amount of effort on the part of the university, on the part of the students. One of the things about any university, it's a partnership between the students who come and the faculty who serve them, and so it's working together towards a common objective. So it's incredibly satisfying to see it when it works. And to see the outcome for the graduates. It's incredibly exciting.
So what is the Lancaster Advantage then?
The Lancaster Advantage is partly about the standards that are expected of the graduates. It's not easy. The standards are very high, they're globally regulated. So the standards that Lancaster University Ghana has are globally recognised. So all of our faculty, all of our teaching, all of our examining, all of our results are moderated internally within the university. They're moderated in Lancaster in the UK, and then they're moderated globally. So we can put our hand on our heart and say, this is a globally recognised standard. If you graduate from Lancaster University, this is a degree that meets, there's a pathway to the world for you.
So what I would like you to speak specifically about the student support.
It's not an easy journey. It's a process of transformation. So when a student comes in, they will have to be willing to be transformed over time. But you don't have to do that alone. Sometimes it's help planning an essay. Sometimes it's dealing with a personal problem. Sometimes it's learning how to research properly. And we provide all of that. Sometimes there might be counselling. All of those services are available. So one of the things the university does is there's a term in Latin called Loco Parentis, and it means to stand in place of the parent. What's really important is that Lancaster University Ghana treats all of our students as if we were their guardians. It's our job to look after them, to nurture them and help them transform and become what they want in the world.
When you look at the alumni, can you speak to some exceptional graduate outcomes you've had so far?
I can. I've in fact just come back from a visit to the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, and one of our law graduates from 2017, we employed him for a year as a graduate teaching assistant. He got a first class LLB. He applied to do the LLM at the University of Michigan. They take about 35 students a year. There are many thousands of applications, probably 300 or 400 serious ones. The young man's name is Alfred Momadou. Alfred not only gained acceptance to the LLM, he got a full tuition scholarship valued at $65,000. Michigan is one of the top 10 law schools in the world. So what we know is that the Lancaster University law degree is recognised by one of the top universities in the world as sufficient standard for entry. We've had similar scholars go into the Commonwealth Scholarship Program in Malta. They've gone into high-level programs. So we're very, very pleased about those outcomes.
I'd like you to speak about your focus on research.
One of the things in any modern university is there is a nexus between teaching and research. All of our staff hold an international certificate of academic practice, so they're trained to the best modern standards of pedagogy, teaching and learning. But you need more than that. You need to be constantly engaged with what's happening in your field. So unusually in Ghana, and particularly in the private university sector, most of our academic staff are research active. They've been involved in the Recirculate program in conjunction with Lancaster University in the UK. They publish widely. We house 3 journals at Lancaster University: the Law Journal, the Disability Journal, and then there's a Student Law Journal. So our academic staff are active public commentators, they're actively publishing. Most have PhDs from international universities and continue to develop their own academic practice. So that means not only are they making a contribution to the community in form of research, but they're also bringing to their students and their teaching the most cutting-edge knowledge in the field.
It's a good thing you mentioned the Recirculate project. I'd like you to speak to other projects or some key highlights that have happened this year.
The Recirculate is a very, very big one. This is a nearly £7 million project which came out of Lancaster University and a partnership with Lancaster University, Ghana. It has brought together partners from Nigeria, Botswana, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and it's been this extraordinary tapping into community knowledge, other researchers' knowledge, and Lancaster University Ghana has hosted this process so far. So it's given us a tremendous boost. We've also graduated our first, not our first, but one of our EMBA classes. So we teach an executive MBA, and graduations are always special, but particularly when you have a group of adults who come back, who've made the transition back to study, have worked tremendously hard, have had to juggle it with family, with work, and have achieved an outstanding result. That was very exciting. We also ran the Disability Conference, and that's an important community contribution. The experience of parents and children with disability is not discussed enough, and I think this is the third time we've actually held the Disability Conference, which has received both domestic and international coverage.
I'd like you to speak about the engineering program as well.
So one of the things we're doing is starting to roll out new programs. We'll be rolling out our new postgraduate programs in the next year or two, the MSc in Management, an LLM, and a Masters of International Relations. But the engineering is a new undergraduate program. One of the things that's really important in Ghana and West Africa generally is we know that in the next 35 years there'll need to be a tremendous amount of building. One Rwandan architect suggested sub-Saharan Africa will need to build, I think, 60,000 houses a day just to meet expected demand. Africa will need a lot of engineers of high quality. So we've started an engineering program in conjunction with Lancaster University in the UK. We're rolling out our foundation program this academic year, 2018-2019, and the undergraduate program will start 2019-2020.
All right, so what's your message to the graduating students as they go into the labour market?
It's to think how useful their education has been, but to think about their own responsibility in the process. I'm a firm believer that life is a process of creation, not discovery, that you can make the life you want. And why I'm very proud to be associated with Lancaster University Ghana, I think what we do with our graduates is equip them to make the world, not just to discover it. So I would urge them to go out and make the world that they want to see.